but when you look at kids and the crimes they commit, like, bro, they legit commit crimes while they're filming the crimes they're committing. That's something I've never even heard of people doing.
That part by itself baffles me, because I mean, I'm not gonna say that I was the baddest person in the world. I'm not saying that I committed any crimes, because I was innocent until proven guilty. Unless you got proof and pictures and shit, it wasn't me. But what I will say is, we learned stuff like not snitching, not telling on yourself, and wasn't the movies. Remember movies like Heat? You know, you feel the heat to the door, it's time to leave. Casino, all of the good stuff where, mob, gangsters, they kind of kept their business and everything a secret, to the point that they killed off all witnesses instead of publicizing everything.
But it was an ethic to it, and it was like one of those things like, I'm here to make some money. Now they don't want to make money. Now they just want to be famous, and it's not even being famous for a long period of time. It's being famous just for one viral moment.
And that's really what we're dealing with. Everybody, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion because I don't have the paperwork and numbers to run it, but I personally feel like it's such a stretch for attention, because there's certain boundaries and things that we were brought up to have where we didn't do so much attention seeking. Those things are out the door now. So everybody's vying for attention. I can think about when you would hear kids acting up, cutting up in class as 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, and the first thing they would say is, okay, the parent works all the time, mom and dad, maybe mom's at the house or dad's at the house or whatever the case may be. They're really vying for attention. Once the child gets that attention and that discipline, they tend to fall in line a little bit more. I mean, some of that stuff is out the door. Like you said earlier, fearing my children, fearing kids. I have to be scared of these little cats right here, because they have no remorse, nor do they have any kind of expectancy on their own life.
Yeah.
So they're not looking at the future. They're looking at the right now, the YOLO. Everybody live once. We gotta live once. We gotta do it for whatever the reason is. They're doing it for it now. I mean, people, they do that. So you tend to lose the basics of how you're supposed to raise a kid. Like, there's supposed to be a structure. And with the parents in the household, you give the child that structure. My sons don't need to really look for attention outside of their family, because they get attention in their family, so they don't need to go and do stupid stuff to get attention. They know they're handsome. They know they're smart. They know that they're all the great things. They know they're kings and princes and all the good stuff. But until you start teaching those kids from the giddy up that this is what it is, and you don't need to look outside for validation, they're gonna always do it. They just want validation.
What do you all think is the cause for this generation of kids to actually just have no regard for human life?
Interpretation, like you just said, YOLO. It's like YOLO. It could go. See how this person just riding their bike, they on the motorbikes and all that. Mm-hmm. You living. You go on vacation, get on jet skis and all that. They can see YOLO as, I'm only living once, so I kill everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rob people because I don't have it. I'm gonna take what's not mine.
Yeah. And in respect, I can't in good faith not speak on my past. Like, I went through a phase when I did a lot of self-destructive things. Mm-hmm. And in me doing that, I had learning lessons out of that. So I didn't continue to do the same stuff. Right. That's the baffling part to me is, touching a hot stove and then I'm going to touch it again. I don't understand that. But I also, with some of the older people in my neighborhood and that I had interactions with, I knew that there was something beyond my 20s. Okay. I knew that there was something beyond my 30s, 40s and so forth. So there was different levels to my life that I actually wanted to get to.
But these kids don't even see that. They don't even look forward to that. Like they're ready to die young, and it doesn't even matter. They're trying to live fast, real quick, and just get it over with. And the biggest highlight of their life is actually going to prison.
And that's part of the issue, though. Like I said, you think about it. Being a Generation Xer, grew up in the hood, from the west side of Atlanta. I have countless homeboys that I buried for one reason or another. The expectations of what you was going to do with your life or where you were going to be was already set. If I was to live past 25, I was going to have multitudes of felonies. I wasn't going to be able to do anything other than, and that was if I was able to live past 25. Mm-hmm.
I think in y'all generation, though, they placed that to y'all. They told y'all that. They taught y'all that. And, I'm, 10 years younger than you, but so when it comes to my son, he don't see none of that.
Yeah.
He don't see, he just a beast, and I'm proud as hell of him. They probably I was taught something else. My dad didn't know how to be a dad at that time. So for him to show me love, he showed me the love that he knew what was love. And the whole time I was, growing up, he was diabetic, fighting that. And I didn't understand that until I was 30.
Yo.
So it's tough. And at this point, it's just like another fight.
Yeah.
He's grown up. He's grown, should I say, to a different person. He's a grandfather now. And then my son, I get to show him a different side. I get to show him love. Like you said, I could tell him, I love you. He didn't know how to say that.
Yeah, but all of that was literally we needed it, and I will be the first to say I needed a hug from my dad, bro. I am not tell you, I needed a hug from my dad. I needed some words of encouragement from mom. I needed all of that, but our parents didn't know any better, so they did what they could.
I became understanding after therapy,
and exactly.
But that's something that even as becoming a parent, you actually start to learn. Oh, there is no real rule book, no handbook to actually being a parent.
None.
Especially not being.
I'm still waiting to talk
not having melanin in our body.
So
we don't have no handbook.
So it's like one of those things. It's like, bro, we can understand that the people who raised us, they were learning as they went along with certain things.
Yeah,
it was still a process, but that is one of the differences between a lot of individuals who are actually stable in society. Like statistically speaking, is actually having a father. So just even having a dad around or a role model, a male role model around is a big thing. But even now, we're dealing in a generation, a society today where they don't want the man around.
Well, I don't think that it's that they don't want the man around. I think that they don't know how to accept it.